Hello, YouTube. This is your least favorite, most hated, pathetic motherfucker on the planet, National Communism 666. How you doing? I'm drinking a beer, actually, with a straw. I hear it gets you drunk quicker, and whatever, so why not? In any event, I also have a bit of a cold, so stay with me. I have a cough drop in my mouth, actually, that's what this is. So, the point being is, I'm going to do a video today, if you give a shit. If you will entertain me, which I'm sure none of you will. This will probably be about 6 views if I'm lucky. But if you would entertain me and drop yourself to my level to watch a fucking video I make, thanks. This is going to be about Twilight Zone, and I like Twilight Zone. It's my favorite, one of my favorite TV series. At least from the time period it came out about the time, maybe a little bit before the time Be Rich came out. They're actually having a Be Rich marathon on TV right now on regular television. It's pretty cool. But I'm going to try to get to the point here. My first favorite I'm going to talk about. My first favorite episode is an episode called He's Alive. I think I know what they called it though. I guess he did escape. But anyways, he's alive, and it's about this neo-Nazi, where maybe he was more like a Mussolini fascist, kind of like I was at one point. Actually, I don't know. Now honestly, if I had saw this episode earlier, it would be higher up in my list because I'm a huge fan of this episode. I love everything about this fucking episode. It's a really good episode from start to finish, and it's this neo-Nazi. And I'm gonna be lying if I didn't say he didn't remind me, or at least sort of I didn't have some sympathy for him because his story is, you know, his parents were assholes. Mine were not. I mean, I'm not saying that I like my parents; they're fine. But I am broke, and I also am a loser, so I can relate to the guy, and I would like to take over the world also. So. But he grows up, and he's a neo-Nazi, and he's giving this speech, you know, and he's basically in a fight with these fucking people, and they beat him up, and yeah, he gets no respect, you know. Anyways, he's staying with this Jewish guy. This Jewish guy lets him live there. He knew him since he was a kid, and they have this long-winded debate, you know. And in the end, he looks out the window and there's this dark, shadowy figure who looks like fucking Hitler. He is Hitler, actually, in the end. I shouldn't have given that away, but it's funny. Actually, I laughed when I actually laughed. But he's like, I can help you. I am here for you. And he talks to him, and he gives him advice, and he starts giving these great speeches based on this guy's advice. And as the time goes on, this other dude, he begins more popular, and the guy, knowing what this is, and having been through it already, he goes out, and he's like, you are an asshole, basically. Let's just summarize it. You were a good kid, but now you're a cunt, you know, whatever. So, Hitler, in the end, he hits the old man. He's saying, I had knew him, and you know, the guy in the shadow comes forward. He was a parasite. He was a Rickling, and you know, he's like, I knew him, and I stayed with him. And what are you? You know. And he's like, I was fighting battles and winning wars and taking over the world before you were ever born, you little dipshit. Anyway, he brought you out. He's got this stupid little fucking mustache, and it's Hitler, you know. And it's just a fun episode. In the end, he shoots the old man. Hitler tells him to shoot the old man, and then at the end, he gets killed. And you're left to wonder, was it a figment of his imagination, whatever. Now, I'm sorry I took so long with that one episode, but back to the point. That was probably my favorite one if I had watched it before I did. Second one, where am I? Or where is everybody? This is the first episode they ever did. Trying to speed things along here. I mainly wanted to talk about that one. I thought it was entertaining. He's like in this place. He wakes up and there's no one else around. He's like, "Where is everybody?" And it's just, and he thinks he sees someone that's like cardboard, and there's no one around. There's no one there, or maybe it's a crash test. And he's actually hooked up to something. He's he's part of an army experiment in the end. And in the end, it turns out he's part of an army experiment. He starts having a mental breakdown. They can't keep him in there any longer. And they take him out, and then it's like the moon. This was in the 50s. It's leading up to the moon landing. And he's like, next time it'll be real, Ronit, General, whoever the fuck. Yes, next time it'll be real. Okay. Third one is The Howling Man. The Howling Man was an awesome episode. Because it's like, The Howling Man is basically about this guy, and he's caught in this storm in, I guess, Eastern Europe or Russia or Romania or somewhere, I don't know where the fuck he's at. And he goes to like this convent or this monastery or whatever, and he wants to stay there, and they let him, the priest or whatever the fuck they are, let him stay there. The monks or whatever, I guess. And he stays there, they let him live there for a while, and it's like in the end, he stays there, and they let him in a cell, and they say there's going to be this nut job who howls, and he barks, and don't let him go, whatever you do. And he talks to the guy, he gets in there, he's like, my god, they're maniacs, and they keep me in here. He's like, who, them? Yes. And he talks, you don't understand. He's the devil himself. And I trapped him in there with this fucking stick. I mean, this stick is magic. It's a magic staff. And obviously he doesn't believe him. Who the fuck would? But, I mean, he goes back. And he eventually lets the guy out, and he's the devil. And it causes the Second World War. That's when Hitler rises and everything. So that was interesting. The second one would be, Will the Real Martian, please stand up. And he's, basically, it starts, and I love the setup to it. It's a snowy fucking day, night, whatever it is. And the bus crashes, but the cops are out there, like, any sign of anything? No. And, anyways, eventually, it's like, the guy, he talks, and they go into it, and it's like the bus crashes, and the cops come in. And he counts too many people. He's like, how many people were in the bus? And he gives a certain number of people. I can't remember what. He's like, well, there's too many here. He's like, is there any chance you that's counted? No, none. So basically, it's an alien in the damn restaurant with them. The diner with them. Anyways, time goes on, and they have this awesome shit. Like, the jukebox starts playing, and they have this crazy old fucker. Who's oddly enough not the alien. He's drinking coffee, and I think at the end he has like 16 cups of coffee. You think, well, that would be the alien, but it's this old fuck. And he's like, just this hilarious shit. Then they have this other stuffy rich fuck, and they have these different people. And one of the aliens, anyways, let me say this. They called, okay, the bridge is fixed. They couldn't go because of the bridge. So they go, I don't trust that bridge. He's like, well, we can't keep you any longer. You gotta go. So they cross the bridge, and the bridge fails. Anyways, the guy comes back, the stuffy rich fuck comes back, the rich kind of asshole comes back. And he's like, it's the damnedest thing. He's talking to the coffee guy. The bridge would not work. It just fell, killed everyone. He's like, and the guy with the diner, he's like, but your clothes aren't even red. You're like, yes, I know. Or he likes that rut. What is that? What do you mean, what is that? Yeah. And he's like, his arms comes out, he's like got 8 arms, and he's smoking a cigarette. He's like, I would like some more of that diner music, and this coffee, this stuff is wonderful. And then the other guy, he's like, Yes, yes, it is wonderful. And he takes off his fucking hat or whatever it is, and he's another alien coming in from another planet, and they've already intersected his people, and I guess killed his people, and he got here first, and he has one eye, and he's taking over the world. So that's interesting. Another episode is fucking Hitchhiker. Now that's the best episode they ever did. This fucking woman gets here. And this woman has a wreck in the beginning. It's like, my God, woman, you spin off the road and you fuck all this. You're lucky you're not calling a hearse. I mean, you don't need a fucking mechanic. You need a hearse. Anyway, she drives off. She sees a hitchhiker. He goes back to where the guy was, gets a new tire or whatever, something. And she looks back. There's the hitchhiker's still there, and she drives down this long, winding desert. Very beautiful thing, I think. But anyways, she keeps seeing this fucking hitchhiker. In the end, the fucking hitchhiker catches up with her. And actually, she calls her home. She's like, "Can I talk to my mother?" I guess she's like, a teenage girl, 19 or whatever she is. It's like, you can't do that. Your mother killed herself or something like that. She goes, her daughter died. He's like, what do you mean? I'm her daughter. And then it hits her, she's dead basically, and she's a ghost. And she gets in, it's like, I can't feel it now. I can see the stars and space and the long grinding roads and the air. I can feel the air and hear the owls and see the fucking sky, the stars and all this horseshit, and all these long grinding roads, but I just don't feel anything. The fear has left me, and she sits in her car and she looks back in her fucking windview mirror, and the fucking dude's in the back, the hitchhiker, he's like, I believe you'll be going my way. So yeah, that was a wonderful episode. Anyways, that was my long, grinding, uncharismatic load of horse shit that I called a fucking video, so I hope you liked it. Anyways, happy Halloween, motherfuckers. P6666.